Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
Okay, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And I am here to review WWE Backlash 2005. I'm continuing with my Backlash reviews because, this Sunday we got WrestleMania Backlash 2022 coming up, which I'll be doing a prediction video for that. I'm solo on my channel here, which stay tuned for that. But we're not talking about WrestleMania Backlash. We're talking about WWE Backlash 2005, and this show was held on May 1st in Manchester, New Hampshire, this was like Triple H's hometown. This is his home city. The real Triple H. This was at the Verizon Wireless Arena, and the attendance for the show was 14,000. And overall, I thought this was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. Like, I've been enjoying all these backlashes I've been watching, and this one is really no different. I think 2004 is a little bit better, but this is still a solid show. Like, I tell you, these backlash shows are usually, pretty solid. But let's quit wasting time. Let's go ahead and get started with this review. So, the show kicks off with the WWE Intercontinental Championship. We got Shelton Benjamin defending the title against Chris Jericho. And it was a solid opener. Both guys were working very, very well together. There was this one spot that looked really dangerous in the match. That looked like really dangerous in the match where Jericho was going for a Hurricane Run on the outside of the ring, but it looks like both guys landed on their neck. That looked pretty dangerous. But yeah, both guys really had, counters to each other. And Shelton Benjamin, he's one of the most underrated wrestlers in WWE. I wish they would have, made him like the next big star, like the next big thing in WWE, because he had some great matches at this time. I feel like one of my favorite matches I've seen with Shelton Benjamin versus Shawn Michaels in 2005. That's a great Monday Night Raw match. If you haven't checked that match out, definitely go check that out on Peacock or, WWE Network, whatever you want to check it on. And check out this match also. I mean, I wish this match would have got more time, but I mean, two great workers in here. A lot of counters to each other's move. I like when Shelton Benjamin, he was going up to the top. He jumps up to the top rope. I never really seen anybody do that, except for Shelton Benjamin. He could jump up straight to the top rope, and he hit a big Falcon Arrow. I mean, that was a nice spot in the match. But Shelton Benjamin did end up winning the match. Well, Jericho, he was going for the Walls of Jericho, but Shelton Benjamin reversed it into a jackknife cover and got the 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, Jericho showed Jericho, very depressed. He's very upset that he lost. And Todd Grisham was trying to get an interview with Jericho, but Jericho just blew him off. Said no, he just walked past Todd Grisham. But like I said, it was definitely a solid match here. I enjoyed it. And then the next match we had was a tag team turmoil for the World Tag Team Championships. I was not a big fan of this match here. Not a big fan of this match at all. So we had Tajiri and William Regal. They were tagging up with each other. Kind of going back to the WWF Alliance days. So I was pretty cool. So William Regal was a face here. They were going up against. No, hold on, sorry. So we had the Heartthrobs starting off the match. Against Tajiri and William Regal. I do not remember the Heartthrobs that much. It was Antonio and Romeo. I don't remember much of these guys. These are one of your generic WWE tag teams. And we also had Simon Dean and Maven, which I thought Maven was out of the WWE at this point. I could have sworn he was out of WWE at this point, but apparently he was still there. And I think there was one interview who was saying, he goes hey, if WWE doesn't want to use me, then I don't need WWE or something like that. But yeah, Tajiri and William Regal, they were dominant a lot in this match. And then we had who else? We had Hurricane and Rosie. Kind of a rematch from last year. Those were the last two teams that were still that were in this match. La Resistance, Robert Conway and Salvin Gonrat. I can't even pronounce his name correctly. And going up against the Hurricane and Rosie. Hurricane and Rosie won the match. I mean, like I said, just not a big fan of these big tag team turmoil matches. It was just kind of very sloppy at some points, and the tag team division during this time period was not the greatest at all. But yeah, the Hurricane and Rosie won this match. Next match we go on to is Edge going up against Chris Benoit in the last man standing match. So basically, Edge and Benoit, they were part of the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania 21. And Benoit, he got his arm, against Kane, in the match, got his arm slammed through a ladder. So the ultimate opportunist to Edge's, he smelled blood in the water. And he really took advantage of that, and left. And Chris Benoit, he really sold that his injuries during the Money in the Bank match, and during the whole month, he was having taped up ribs, having a hurt arm and stuff. So this is kind of like the Money in the Bank match, and here in the last man standing with Edge and Chris Benoit, which I thought this was a great match, really good stuff here. But then again, sometimes it's hard to do last man standing matches because it's hard to keep fans' attention spans. But this was a solid match here between both guys. I always enjoyed these guys' feud. It kind of made me cringe a little bit, looking at some of the shots that Chris Benoit was taking, even to the head. He was going for a suicide dive on the outside of the ring to Edge, and Edge hit him with a trash can lid. I mean, a trash can lid has some give, rather than using a steel chair, but still, it looked bad. There was a lot of shots of the head that Benoit was taking. And even Edge was taking some nasty bumps. He was taking a lot of German suplexes in this match. A lot of German suplexes. We even saw a ladder get brought out as a weapon. They did some high spots on it. Benoit did a German suplex off the ladder onto Edge. That was nice. Not Jericho, sorry. Edge, like I said, he was taking a lot of suplexes, just coming back after his neck surgery, taking a lot of neck beating here. You even saw a superplex off the top rope from Edge into a trash can. You had Edge, hit a whole bunch of spears, but it wouldn't keep Chris Benoit down. So Edge, being the smart man he is, he got the Money in the Bank briefcase because at this time he was the Money in the Bank winner. And also his slogan during this time was "Bank on it." That's what he was saying, or his tagline was saying "Bank on it." But he grabbed the Money in the Bank briefcase and opened it up. He had a brick in there, and he hit Benoit on the back of the head with it to make Benoit stay down for the count of 10. So the winner of the match was Edge. Solid match. Like I said, these guys really never disappointed when I saw them put on matches and stuff. But like I said, it was a good match here. And even Edge, he threw the brick at the steel steps because I don't think the fans really got a good glimpse of what was that thing that Edge used until he threw the brick at the steel steps. Whoa! The fans whoa! He was using a brick. But like I said, solid match here. And then after this, we had a segment with Jerry Lawler. He brought out the women who were in the magazine, the swimsuit magazine or whatever, Divas magazine. And then that was interrupted by Chris Masters. Chris Masters came out. They did the whole Master Lock challenge. if they could break the master lock or the full Nelson. And they brought out this one fan, and it was for $3,000, but the girl couldn't break it. She was a very jacked up girl. She was wearing like a Boston Red Sox hat. And Chris Masters like, "Are you a guy or a girl?" He was like, "To be honest, you could be both. I don't know what you are." But no, Chris Masters put the master lock on her, and she couldn't get out of it. And that was that basically. So the lady did not get $3,000. And then after this match, we had Kane with Lita going up against Viscera and Trish Stratus. Oh, this match here. So, Lita, she was coming back, like after her injury and stuff. Well, Lita and Trish, this is kind of going off into their feud still. And at this time we had, while Lita was injured, Edge was driving Lita around and stuff. So we knew that was going to start to be a thing here, especially when you heard the "We Want Matt" chants. But at this time, Kane was stalking Trish, and basically, Trish was looking for somebody to protect her, and got Viscera. Which, if you don't know who Viscera is, he was King Mabel back in the WWF, and now he was like doing this very sexual character, like Visagra or something like that, like saying something like that, being very gross and stuff, being very sexual. This would not work in today's WWE. I'll tell you that right now. This would not work at all. But yeah, so. Basically, the whole storyline behind this was, if Viscera helped take out Kane, then Trish would let Viscera screw her, or try to get his try to have sex with Trish Stratus, But in reality, she wasn't gonna let him do that. She was not gonna let him do that. She wasn't gonna stoop that low. But onto this match. This match was not very good. I mean, you had to have Kane. When you have Kane try to lead the match and like try to when you have to have Kane try to lead the match against somebody who's not another person who's not a very good wrestler, this did not end up very well. You even had Trish try to get involved. She grabbed the steel chair, but Lita she used her steel crutch and clocked Trish Stratus in the head with the steel chair, so that took out Trish Stratus there. But at the end, Kane did end up winning this match. And then Trish Stratus got on the mic and she says, "Hey, I was never going to lower my standards to be with a fat, slimy man like you." And so she said that basically Viscera was worthless. And then Viscera, started squeezing her and then did a big splash on Trish Stratus. And then they had the low Trish Stratus on a gurney. On a backboard and cart her away. So that was basically the end of that there. Like I said, this is not very good. Not a very good match at all. Wasn't a big fan of this, and it was very awkward to watch at some points. And then the next match we had was a tag team match. We had Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels going up against Daivari and Muhammad Hassan. So the whole storyline behind this was they were having this... Daivari and Muhammad Hassan were having a segment on Monday Night Raw with Shawn Michaels. And saying the only reason why you got cheered after losing your match at WrestleMania is because Americans, they love losers. Because they are losers and stuff like that. And Shawn Michaels, he basically got on his knees. And, he said, "Hey, I want a match with... I want a match with Daivari and Muhammad Hassan to Eric Bischoff." And Eric Bischoff says, "If you find a partner, you can have the match, but you can't." He wanted to do a handicap match, but he couldn't do it because Eric Bischoff wouldn't let him. But that's when Michaels came out and said, "Hey, he asking Hulk Hogan for one more match. He got on his knees, he says, and then the whole crowd was chanting, 'One more match, one more match.'" And then you know that Hulk Hogan came out, which he got inducted to the Hall of Fame this year. And in 2005. So he came back We had the whole Hogan and Michaels match going up against Daivari and Muhammad Hassan. This is your kind of like average tag team like house show type of match. The crowd was really, really behind Hulk Hogan a lot in this match. Like they really popped hard for Hogan. Daivari and Muhammad Hassan, they were doing some good selling in this match. We even saw Muhammad Hassan, or maybe it was Daivari, I can't remember. But one of them, they brought out a steel pipe and hit Michaels in the back with it. I mean, it was nice to see what Michaels was doing. He was very, very excited. He was very excited to work with Hogan here. Doing the whole posing with Hogan at the end of the match. And, this was kind of planting the seeds for SummerSlam 2005 to get that match between Hogan and Michaels. But Hogan, he still had a lot of juice in the tank. He could go. He was looking pretty good here. So I like the stuff that they were doing with him. But he didn't end up doing a leg drop because he didn't want to risk getting injured here. So the match ended when Michaels did the super kick, and then Hogan pinned Daivari to get the 1, 2, 3. And then the next time on Monday Night Raw, Daivari and Muhammad Hassan, they broke up. Muhammad Hassan said Daivari was the reason why they lost. So that was the end of their tag team. But no, I really enjoyed the stuff that Hogan and Michaels was doing. The crowd was really behind it. They even brought a fan in the crowd, kind of like a chubby guy, but he had a Hogan tattoo on his back, and they ripped off his shirt. It was kind of weird, but I mean it was cool at the same time. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all a match. Something you would probably see like on a house show, or like a Monday Night Raw. But I just like the reaction that the fans were doing, and like Michaels was doing. Like he was doing the whole ear thing, like doing the whole ear stuff, or like doing the whole posing that Hogan usually does. So that was cool. And then the next match we had was the World Heavyweight Championship. This was the main event. We got Batista defending the title against Triple H, and Ric Flair was in the corner of Triple H. This is the rematch from WrestleMania 21, and of course, classic Triple H here. He was saying, Batista's on borrowed times. He had one great night. He had one great night at WrestleMania. But he says that was only one great night. He says, I'm going to be getting that title back. And, classic Triple H. What he used to do when he used to whine when he lost his titles. I don't know. I just have a couple problems with this match. I mean, this match kind of seemed very slow at sometimes. Like, it seemed very choppy. Like, especially Batista, he still wasn't very much polished at this point. Like, the way he did some moves and stuff, like I said, they weren't very polished. You had a lot of interference in this match between, like, Ric Flair, even quite a bit of ref bumps. Even, like, when Batista was going for a Batista bomb, Triple H grabbed the world title belt, and smashed Batista in the head with it. Because a lot of stuff from WrestleMania 17 here I was noticing, because when I watched Mania 17 between Taker and Triple H, yeah, a lot of similarities here. Like I said, a lot of ref bumps, a lot of interference, to still make Triple H look strong, because they wanted to protect Triple H as much as possible. They were really making the pedigree seem really important stuff, like the pedigree was like looking really strong here. I mean, they had this one point where the referee got knocked out, Triple H at the pedigree, and then they had to send a new referee out, but of course, Batista kicked out of it. But at the end, Batista did end up winning by the Batista bomb. And then after the match, we had Triple H take out Earl Hebner, hit him with the pedigree, and basically get in Batista's face, saying he should have won. That's his title. He was taken, and of course, we had their big Hell in a Cell match. Was that Vengeance? Yeah, it was at Vengeance, like in June. But yeah, it was a solid match. I think it was better than the Mania match. No, I think their Hell in a Cell match was their best match, but this was definitely better than their WrestleMania match, in my opinion. But yeah, that was my WWE Backlash 2005 review. Go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSP. Go follow me on Instagram, TheTrueJSP. And hit that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out my channel. That would help me out quite a bit. Also, turn on that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And then also go subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an Instant Classic. And also go subscribe to the T.A.G. podcast. Their link will be down below in the description. But this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.